Hi, Cancer, and welcome back to my channel. Whether you are a Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or however Cancer may show up on your astrological natal chart, then these messages are for you. And today I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on the topic of we've reconciled, now what? But first, my name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second-degree Reiki practitioner, as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you're interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, my credentials, scheduling a private recorded reading, learning more about my Patreon platform, or if you're interested in exclusive content bonus messages such as my weekly pick-a card readings or other things shown here on my Patreon shop, then take a look down below in the description box. All the information and links are there. For those of you who are my subscribers, my new viewers and visitors alike, I want to thank each and every one of you for your love, your support, and your loyalty to our channel. I greatly appreciate it. As you know, these are all free channeled messages, and the only thing I ask, if you can, please share my YouTube channel with like-minded souls. Okay, so let's talk about Cancer. Let's talk about what this reading is going to be focusing on. Okay, I'm going to be channeling messages for those of you who are either considering reconciliation or are in the process of reconciliation or have reconciled already. So that means there was or has been here either talks of divorce or there has been a breakup already or a sense of separation here. All right. That being said, I'm going to see what comes through for the both of you. And as you saw here, I don't know if I did actually, this deck has messages on both ends of the card. So I, turned it around so that we can see what messages may be coming out for you here. All right, let's take a look here, Cancer. What's coming through for we've reconciled, now what? Okay, so the one that's looking at me is here, temporary relief. Let's see what that is all about here. Excuse me. Temporary relief. Distractions aren't a quick fix for deeper issues. Okay. So I feel here for your connection here, your reconciliation. Okay. This reconciliation is feeling as if one person wants to, there could be here one person downplaying the situation, circumstance, or event, or downplaying the fact that this separation, breakup, or even talks of divorce were serious enough that, like, this really was something that was like, I don't see each other getting back together. But there could be one of you here that may want to apologize, that may want to still work on the connection. And I feel here that the conversation or the energy behind this reconciliation is as if by only saying sorry or by just apologizing, which seems very superficial, um, is not going to the root of what the apology is for. Okay, so it's feeling as if saying sorry or apologizing as means of quick fixing something that needs more depth to discuss, more depth in order to repair or mend. And for some of you, I'm getting here this energy of maybe there has been a pattern here of accepting the apology either right away or accepting the apology and then whatever situation, circumstance, event, or pattern of behavior resurface again. So I'm getting with you, Cancer, in this repetitive energy here. There's a like a vicious cycle of apologizing, making up, things looking rosy for a little bit, and going right back to the same cyclical pattern here. And this time around, it's different. It's feeling like this time around, just saying I'm sorry or apologizing is, it's too superficial in order to get down to the nitty gritty of what this breakup, separation, or even talks of divorce has been this time around. Okay. So it feels like there's more of a severe sense of depth here that needs to be discussed. Okay. And look at that. I want to say there are two messages here. Yeah, there are two messages here. So let's see what comes through here. It says, believe in the impossible and bring love into the situation. Okay. Believe in the impossible is really believing that there is perhaps here a rare unconditional type of love relationship here where there may seem here on an emotional standpoint and maybe even intuitively here both of you may feel as if you are either soulmates or have a soul to soul type of connection. And I think that that has been maybe the culprit here or one of the ingredients that has created this kind of cyclical pattern or vicious cycle of like, saying I'm sorry, forgiving, things are rosy, then getting back into again and again and again. Because there is a feeling here that both of your souls may be tethered, right, together, as if maybe even for some of you, you may feel that this is your soulmate or your twin flame. So it's been very difficult to kind of break that pattern of like breaking up and really being broken up and done and over with, meaning no type of reconciliation, right? Opportunities. But I feel here that this time around, it's something that was important enough that it went deep enough where just saying I'm sorry is not going to cut it. You have here bring love into the situation, and I feel that change is coming. I feel that there is a sense here of the changes that are going to be required this time around is going to have to be very different than what has been said, done, or shown in the past. So it's no longer anything having to do with superficiality. It must go deeper in order for this reconciliation to have a deeper sense of resolution of mending, fixing, or repairing something here. Because it's coming across, it says, look, bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. The fundamentals need to be brought back. Okay. There is something here about reestablishing or focusing a lot here having to do on the friendship, going back to basics. The foundation of your connection could have been in jeopardy this time around with this breakup, separation, or even talks of divorce. So I'm getting that type of energy here that yes, is it possible to reconcile and to mend and to fix the relationship? Yes, but only if both of you are, especially the one here who may have um you know who may have created more of a depth of hurt here, um that need to be discussed. It's no longer I'm sorry. There's more needed here in order for this reconciliation to really change. Or and I feel here that there's an importance here of thinking outside of the box. You have to kind of think about other ways to strengthen this connection so that the vulnerabilities that are either not being discussed or shared need to be discussed and shared. Okay, there's something here about kind of like trying to say I'm sorry or I apologize and kind of like trying to move on with the relationship. And this time around, it's feeling like there's more needed here than just an apology. Look at that. Excessive anxiety, overwhelm. Cultivate life's equilibrium. Find harmony in chaos. And I feel there's a lot of depth of emotion here that is being felt, okay? And that is being considered or reconsidered here. Because whatever, and I said this before, I said whatever this is something that was very much overwhelming. You have two people here, kind of like this person is in a state of being overwhelmed, okay? And this person here is under the water. So there's a lot of emotions here that and a lot of vulnerabilities here that need to surface and be discussed. Because if not, it's coming across as it's going to be sooner or later there's going to be another breakup here. Okay. And I feel like the next time is going to be like that's really it. Even if some of you felt like this one was like really it, like it was the end. Um, but again, there's a sense of reconciliation being worked on here. Um, there's something energetically here pulling me into talking about emotions. Um, and finding the balance between being able to share the emotion in a state of calmness rather than sharing the emotions in the state of being impulsive and anxious and angry, or after fuses have been burnt here. You know what I mean? Let's see what else is coming through here for the both of you. Okay, Cancer, reconciliation. Now what? Yeah, a lot of talking about the vulnerabilities, a lot of talking about the deeper issues that need to be discussed. I did say get back to basics before, and I was getting that message of like getting back to basics and really strengthening the friendship, or strengthening how the foundation of your connection when you guys met. So there's something here about restoring the core of the foundation of this connection through this reconciliation, okay? Because there's a sense here that and look at that, it's like literally, that's exactly what I talked about. There's a sense of needing to build on what was fundamentally either damaged or broken, or, you know, kind of like in the state of feeling it was a bit chaotic here. Whatever this is, there's a lot of talking that needs to happen here in order to get to the bottom of the deeper issues. Like I said, apology alone is not going to, it may be a temporary band-aid, but it's going to go back to something that maybe even created here the wedge here. Okay. All right. So let's take a look here, Cancer. And I do have here advice coming up for you with this deck over here, but let's take a look, a little bit more clarity here, and then we're going to jump into the advice. So you guys have here the Chariot, Two of Wands, King of Swords. Okay. All right. The Chariot, again, making sure that the emotions are in control. All right. The Chariot is about moving forward. So I do believe that there's this authentic feeling here of really wanting to move forward. Okay. Again, there's a rare love, or there's a rare sense of devotion or unconditional love here that is being felt, or being a rare soul to soul connection that is being felt. The Chariot is ruled by Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. Okay. So is Pisces. And Scorpio, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, all three water signs. Okay. The Chariot is ruled by Cancer. So what I'm feeling here with this Chariot card is, yes, that there's this sense of wanting to continue in the reconciliation, to move forward, to progress, but there's a lot here having to do with controlling the emotions, maybe to the point where vulnerabilities are not being shared, like I said, but controlling the emotions, especially when things get a little bit heated here in a discussion. Okay. So the Chariot here is about, yes, having a sense of control emotionally here, because of course Cancer rules the Chariot card, but also having a focus. What are the elements here that both of you need to do in order to ensure that you see your relationship as the end goal? What is the end goal here? Is the end goal just to say I'm sorry and to superficially just kind of move past something? Or is the goal here to really get to the bottom of whatever this may be, and, repair it, fix it, figure out what it is? Because in order for this rider to be able, or in this deck is a dog walker, but the dog walker needs to be the leader of the pack. If the dog walker is not the leader of the pack, these two dogs are just going to be pulling in different directions. So in other words, this chariot is saying there is a very important element here of the mind, body, and soul to be aligned in order for both of you to understand each other's value and move forward. Okay, Two of Wands is not really moving forward. Two of Wands is the energy of planning, talking, figuring something out. Two of Wands is this energy of, like, well, like I always say, ready to plan or being in the waiting room. And the Two of Wands is also here, maybe even making two choices. What are we actually leaving? And I'm saying we because I'm getting this energy of, like, both of you kind of talking about this and saying, like, what do we need to leave behind? What wand situation here do we need to leave behind? And what direction do we need to move forward towards so that we can, in a way, start anew? This person here in this deck has newspapers or stories, right, from the past that they are burning. Okay, so this is like newspapers. Okay, so it's giving the symbolism here of burning things that no longer serve, right? And making the decision to figure out what is important and what's not important. What's important to save and to build on, and what isn't going to work for this new direction or this movement that both of you are moving towards, or the process of reconciliation here. So this Two of Wands is giving this energy of, like, needing to embrace the change, but in order to embrace the change, there has to be the talk here of the deeper issues that are creating a wedge or created a wedge in the past or recent past, in order for things to move forward. The King of Swords is coming across as both of you here embracing, either both of you or one of you, embracing a more logical, analytical type of strategic type of plan here. It's not one that I don't see, cups energy here, although I do see the water sign here with the chariot, which is Cancer. So again, there are emotions here, but there's a lot having to do with mastering the ability to see things rationally, logically, intellectually, with a clear mind and a clear focus. Okay, and this conversation here with the coffee cup needs to be presented, or this process of reconciliation, whether it's like you're talking about reconciliation or whether you've already are in the process of reconciliation, there needs to be here a clarity in the communication. Okay, which is like, because I'm getting here someone being a little bit stoic, and maybe the other person kind of like, oh, you're being very cold, or no, you're being very cold, because the King of Wands, I'm sorry, the King of Swords comes across as a very cold, stoic type of energy. But it's because the King of Swords doesn't make decisions based on emotion. The King of Swords makes decisions based on the clarity of the rational mind, okay? The clarity of the conversations, intelligence, okay? Does it make sense? Is it logical? Okay? So kind of like talking in that logical, very honest and clear way in order to tackle and to find out what those deeper issues are, so that there is more of kind of like of a certainty, or at least this energy here of, like, listen, this is not a quick fix this time around. We really need to figure out the core of where we want to go in this connection. Okay. Last but not least, let's take a look at your advice. And you have here knowledge, an unknown journey, which is interesting because the chariot is also, like I said, excuse me, it's about movement, but it's also about travel. So Very interesting here. It says here, an unknown journey is calling the both of you, and it requires new knowledge and skills. Exactly. King of Swords energy, as I picked up before. The universe always responds to those who seek wisdom. The right teacher will appear like destiny, leading you to a higher realm of understanding. And I'm getting the leading here having to do with the Chariot. Cancer, I hope these messages have been insightful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.